Over the past year, I've played my fair share of FNaF fan games. Over 440 fan games to be exact. Yes, that is more the amount of days in the year. No, I'm not crazy. Why do you ask? Anyways, over that year, I've played a large amount of fan games that are really good, and most of them got the attention they deserve. Playtime with Percy, A Bite at Freddy's, and Virus J, to name some examples. However, just as many great games haven't gotten the highlight that they deserve. This video is for some of those. These are my top 5 FNaF fan games that I played in the year of FNaF fan games that haven't gotten the attention they deserve. Also, I'm not including any of my games, because then this list would be very biased, but you can still play them if you want. All the games that I'm proud of are on GameJolt. Number 5. Travis's Test by Lunatics. Travis's Test is the most recent game I played on the list, and made me re-edit this spot. It was originally going to go to Cave Isolation, so I guess Cave Isolation is number 6. Anyways, Travis's Test is a game made in 4 days, and just for that I have to applaud it. In 4 days, not only did Lunatics make a game that has 6 characters, but also has 6 characters with different mechanics that complement each other. It's also hard. Now, it might just be a skill issue on my part, but it's pretty hard, but seems doable. I just haven't beaten it yet. Either way, it starts with 2 enemies, Travis and a second randomly chosen amongst the rest of the cast, then adds 1 enemy per hour. Not only does every enemy add a layer of complexity to the night, regardless of the order they're added, they all are completely different. There is a little cheese with 2 characters that prevent each other from attacking, but that cheese has ironically been solved by adding a mouse character. Overall, very good game. Engaging mechanics, good difficulty, and great characters. Also, you can do this. Number 4. One Experience at Mr. Apple's by D. Sock. One Experience at Mr. Apple's is a game inspired by One Night at Flumpty's. Very apparently so. There are so many Easter eggs and references that 2 left thumbs could make a whole series on it. But the Easter eggs aren't why this game is here. The reason it's here is because of the gameplay. Like Flumpty's, this game doesn't care much for lore or consistency, so its mechanics can afford to be extremely creative. The game has a temp meter that goes up or down. It can be made to switch direction using the buttons of the office, and when it reaches either side... Well, this may seem annoying, it is, but it moves slow enough to leave enough time to deal with the actual threats, namely Mr. Apple. Each enemy is different, and their mechanics play with each other well. Also, everything just looks good. The Easter eggs are consistently placed among location, and the animations and sound design are just great. Overall, it's a pretty good game, from what I've played so far at least. The only critique I have is that the nights are a bit long, but that just makes it better for commentary, and allows more room for the temp mechanic to shine. Number 3. The Salvage Rebooted by The Collector Logan. The Salvage Rebooted is a game inspired by the Interviewed series by J-Gems. It takes the salvage sections from Pizza Sim and expands on it tenfold. It adds mechanics from other games, has secrets and Easter eggs, and so many more enemies, like this little shit. It has secrets, lore, and so much more. I played this game the longest out of the games I played this year, mostly for the 1000 subscriber special, but still. Each enemy is like a puzzle, and some require the player to buy specific things from the shop. It is explained well which enemies need which items, so it's not too bad. And then there's this little shit who made me spend like $100 on just fucking flashlights because he kept stealing all of them. Like, what the fuck? Generally, it's a good expansion of the Pizza Sim salvaging sections. My only critique is that it has a few small glitches, and also Balloon Boy, that motherfucker. Number 2. Summer Shift at Arbors by BitWizard64. Summer Shift at Arbors is a FNaF fan game that looks like it came straight out of Scott Cawthon's model folder in the best way possible. While it mimics Scott's art style very well, its gameplay is much different. Also in the best way possible. Instead of doors or lights or a mask, you have 4 education toys, and each one is used for 1 animatronic each. The 4 toys each have a different minigame to play when their respective animatronic enters the office. Additionally, there are a few other enemies, namely this walking arcade machine that can be used to regain power, and the security owl from FNaF World, which moves in stages with a cooldown to push it back. So it's a music box mechanic, but better. There's also a few more enemies added in later nights, each with their own minigame to accompany it. The gameplay loop essentially is just pushing a button every so often until an animatronic makes you play a WarioWare minigame, which is fun, I promise. Each minigame is unique and fun, for the most part. I mean, there is one where you have to identify planets, and I'm not an astrology person. What? Uranus? I don't know why... I don't know planets. Before I get to the number 1 spot, here are some honorable mentions. One Night with the Random Guy and its sequel, Vanessa, One Night at Kerbo's, The Chair, Haps-A-Go-Go, Night at Nuggets, Clockwork Conundrum, Five Nights at PP World Official, At Least One Night at Somewhere, Agonizing Minds, Endless Nightmare, Cupper's Recursion, and Too Many Nights. That seems like a lot, and that's because it is. And now, what you've all been waiting for. Number 1, The Seed of Danger by Bob. The Seed of Danger is the first FNaF fan game roguelike that I've played. There have been a surprising amount of them, but this is the first one I stumbled upon, and the only one that doesn't make my computer die. Oh, be quiet, it's just Minecraft. This game doesn't have a specific end, but it does have a specific start. That being, well, the start. But before getting into the first night, you get to choose from 3 long-term specialties and 2 short-term specialties. The long-term specialties persist throughout the entire game, while the short-term specialties only last for 1 night. After choosing and pressing go, you get to go into the first night, where, even now, the game does not stop innovating. While, yes, there are doors and a camera system implemented in a way seen before, all the accompanying mechanics just make it better. How many other games can you literally hunt for rabbits in the middle of the night, or let you shoot things with a gun in general? Not only does it let you shoot things, it also implements the music box mechanic that I notoriously hate. 3 times. 3 whole music boxes, and I don't hate it. While it's not the first game to have a music box mechanic I don't hate, it definitely has the most amount of music box mechanics I've seen. That's not to mention the art style. While it is made in Scratch, or rather the fan-made upgrade, Turbo Warp, it has one of the most charming art styles I've seen in this series. Not to mention the music. It's incredible. Honestly, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Overall, it's a perfect blend of cute vector art and unique FNaF mechanics, making for a great game and the most underrated FNaF fan game I've played this year. And those were my top 5 underrated FNaF fan games I've played in the past year. I would also do my bottom 5, but just look in the F tier of my tier list and you'll find them. Anyways, I don't normally ask for this, but if you want to see more FNaF fan game content, some possibly being edited like this, you can subscribe and maybe like this video if you liked any of the games I mentioned. Leave a comment for what you think the most underrated FNaF fan game is, and I don't know how to transition to my usual outro, so I'm just gonna say bye.